Hi everybody, Dugras here with Dugras Reports. Welcome to another episode of Frugal Points, where I drive in my car and talk to you about the philosophical side of points and miles. Today I'm going to be talking about an experience that I had trying to use the Airline incidental credit on my American Express Business Platinum card. I'm not sure if this video has a name, but something along the lines of the frustration of getting your points spread too thin, or trying to use a little something here and a little something there. Before I dive in though, this video will begin its life as a members only video, so if you're not currently a Dugras diehard, please check out the membership option. It's only $3 a month, and that's where videos that are too sensitive or too nerdy for the general YouTube algorithm go, or at least begin their life. Member videos always release a day or two before everyone else, and many member videos stay as member-only videos forever. And if you're watching this and not a member and not a subscriber either one, please consider subscribing to the channel. Let's dive in. So, I have an American Express Business Platinum card. It's going to end its first year somewhere around January or February of 2024. So I wanted to use up the credits before then. I found through some older resources on Frequent Miler that I can make Delta my preferred airline. And if I do so, I can use the Airline incidental credit to buy a relatively inexpensive Delta flight if I pay for the first portion with a gift card and then charge the rest to my Platinum or Business Platinum. If it's my chosen airline, that triggers the Airline incidental credit, or sometimes just called the Airline credit. Now, with that in mind, I did that. I made two purchases on Delta, one where the total was, I don't know, around $120, and one where the total was around $163, something like that. So I have, between buying the gift card and the Airline incidental credit, I now have somewhere just under $300 worth of Delta credits. And I wanted to use that. So I'm planning my next RIP trip, that is a long weekend getaway for solo travel, to the area around Charlottesville, Virginia. That's where you'll find like Monticello, the home of Thomas Jefferson and many other interesting historical things, right up my alley. That's a trip planned for April. So the Charlottesville airport is a very small airport. I looked around at other airports, possibly even like Washington Dulles or Richmond, but after looking those over and calculating the driving times, all those, I don't want to be driving that much just to get to where I want to go. So I'm going to fly into the Charlottesville airport code CHO, which is a little more expensive sometimes because it's a small airport, and I live in Des Moines, Iowa, so basically there's no way to avoid having a layover. I'll fly from Des Moines to some kind of hub, and from the hub on to Charlottesville. In my research, I found that Delta does fly there. I think the big three legacy carriers, Delta, United, and American, are the ones that fly there. I don't believe any others do. So, with that in mind, went to look. And based on my work schedule, these kind of trips, it's always easiest if I can leave on a Friday or very early Saturday morning. So I took off work Friday and then come back on Tuesday. So Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And I don't mind arriving late Friday or early Saturday. Either one. And I searched and I just couldn't find what I wanted with Delta when you think of layovers and those kind of things. I don't like having super short layovers, and I think it's ludicrous that airlines even schedule a layover of only 30 minutes. Even 40 minutes is way too short. I need an hour just to feel comfortable, and if I want to hit the lounge, I would prefer like an hour 45 or more. So, also want to make sure there's either a Priority Pass lounge, Capital One lounge, something I can get into. By that time, my American Express Business Platinum will probably be canceled unless they throw a massive retention offer at me. So I don't have Centurion Lounge access. So Atlanta's okay, Minneapolis is okay, LaGuardia's okay. Delta just didn't have anything that worked. The only connections they had were like in LaGuardia, but the times were all wrong and way too short. So both on the trip out and the trip back. So I started poking around, found some flights I wanted on American Airlines. I could book entirely with points, and I actually came up 4 points short, but that's a story for another time. I'll be able to get that. So, yeah, I've got these Delta credits, and I don't know when I'm going to use them, and they expire after a year. And I did get those credits without any specific trip in mind. I just booked trips that would go into my flight credits and then canceled them. So, the position I'm in right now, I've got, almost $300 of flight credits trapped over at Delta. I have a large handful of points over at American. I have something like 100,000 points with Flying Blue. I don't believe I have any on United. And then I have probably $300 or $400 of flight credits at Southwest because of previous Platinum card, one my wife had, I used over there. Some I kept, some I canceled. So where's this leading me? I kind of wished, well, I'm not saying I wished I didn't do the Delta thing, but the airline incidental credit, even if you know how to use it to buy effectively flights, man, that's just not worth all that much. And sometimes people will say things like, well, when you're calculating effective annual fee off that $695, go ahead and take $200 off of that to account for the airline incidental credit. No, do not do that. That is not how you should value things. Give that airline incidental credit maybe 50%. If you're feeling generous, 65, 80%. But whatever you do, don't give it full value. It would have been better for me to just go through the portal, the Wells Fargo portal, the Chase portal. You know, if you have a Capital One, what was that? If you have a Capital One Venture X, use up your $300 portal credit. And I know some people will complain about booking through travel portals, and I get that. However, I think most of the difficulty people had with that were during COVID, when everything was just straight up shut down and you couldn't travel. Maybe it's inconvenient if you have to make a change, and I get that, because I don't want to call Chase if I have to make a change. But I've done stuff on there before, and like with Southwest, a credit just appears on my Southwest account. Or with other airlines, I've just canceled it, and sort of like no harm, no foul. I think they hold on to the taxes and fees to apply to a future flight. But so let me know in the comment section if you have had problems with booking through the Chase portal or something like that, and then you had to change your flight. Not cancel, but just change it. Yeah, so I originally set out to be a free agent, and I feel like I'm not doing a very good job of being a free agent. I'm just, piddling here and there and building up a bunch of points that are hard to use. I think I should go back into my focus on Chase points, transferable currencies, stuff where I don't have a bunch of points getting trapped somewhere. Now, admittedly, the 100,000 points I have with Flying Blue is because I thought I had a specific trip in mind, and then I had to make a change, so I ended up not being able to use that. So there's kind of some thoughts about, why some of those airline incidental credits, even like on the Aspire card, they're changing to just an airline credit, $50 a quarter. So yeah, you can use it to book a flight and then cancel it, but now you're going to have, you got to pick your preferred airline, and it's going to be trapped somewhere. It would be way, way better if it was like Chase on the Sapphire Reserve, where they just give you a travel credit. You could just buy the flight when you're ready to buy it, the full $200 all in one go. And that's, wait until you actually have a specific trip in mind instead of having to do all this rigmarole, which is making Capital One's Venture X look not quite so bad. Well, there's some rants, and put comments down below and let me know what your thoughts are on this matter. I appreciate it. Please click the like button. And as always, may your spending be frugal, and may your points be plenteous.